It is a Monday. We got some good news. The heat advisory or the heat warning has been dropped for the entire Bay Area, even the Central Valley out by Sacramento in that area. But to the North Valley and the South Valley, as you can see in this graphic, extreme heat warning exists. In the area under orange is a heat advisory, a much lesser watch or warning. It's an advisory. A warning is more, it's going on, this is bad, right? Flood warning. Anytime you hear warning, it means it's happening. And so in our area, we're not having a heat warning. So that's some pretty good news. We got that going for us. I wanted to show you this map. This is the, let me flag out of here. This is the visible satellite. I think every morning when you get up, you should go right to this. It's bookmarked on my site. Why do you go right to it? Because it's literally like looking out your window and going, oh my gosh, it's sunny or it's raining. It's same thing. It's like, it's cloudy. There's the fog, there's the smoke. There are the clouds. And if you're up in Tahoe right now, you go money, very little smoke, very little cloud cover, not expecting thunderstorms today. And if you go up to Northern California, you see a couple fires burning. And you can see, oh my gosh, there's smoke from these fires in Northern California that is kind of wafting over Redding. Looks like it's a fairly unpopulated region, maybe a little bit of smoke in Bernie right now, but it's just a money, it's like looking out the window, man. Like you're not gonna get up in the morning and go outside, first thing you do is look out the window. At least that's what I do. I look at the temperature, second thing. But the temperature, we can do that other ways. Okay, so this is that fire down by, Lompoc, Buellton. Pretty good sized fire, burning really remotely. And you can see which way the wind's blowing, right? So there's a lot you can get from these maps. This is Watch Duty, and when I back it out, this thing is money, this website. Watchduty.gov or org, pardon me, and it is shows you all the fires actively burning. The fires that are grayed out on the edges, like see these areas in here, those are fires that are out. This French fire is a fire that is almost out. It's got 55% containment. They're on it. The shearing fire, they're 12%. And to the right, you can see all the basic stats on the fire. And you can even get live pictures from these live camera networks. I mean, it is amazing how far the science and the forecasting of fire weather has come, because no way would I have had a picture like this 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Maybe I didn't know where to get it, but now there's these sources and these sites that are pretty comprehensive for finding fires, and there's hundreds and hundreds of live cameras. So this is a satellite. We're looking out the window right now. We're seeing what's going on, and you can see that we've got, hold on, I just got a little phone call. It's got a phone call on my watch, right? Okay, so you can see what's going on. You see fog at the coast. This is the Bay Area. This is why it's cooler. One of the things I want to show you, I'm going to pull this up. It seems scary at first, but this is an acoustic profiler. And the timeline goes across this. So I'm going to have to draw on this for you. The timeline goes like this. So it's going, this is last night, and this is, or yesterday, and this is to current. So the closest to the vertical, the y-axis is the right now thing. So this area right here, that's more current. And what you're going to notice right away is just look at the blue. The blue is, let's call it the inversion. It's essentially the inversion. It's the difference between the cool air underneath, the warm air to the top. Acoustic profile at Fort Ord shoots a acoustic wave up into the atmosphere and determines this based on air density. So, but what I wanted to point out was look at the flat line here. The coastal hills average about 1,000 feet. That's 1,000 feet right there. See how it's not deeper than that? That's why we're seeing cooling at the Bay, we're seeing cooling at the Golden Gate Bridge, we're seeing cooling in Berkeley, but until that inversion gets up here to about 1,600 or 1,700 feet, which puts it well over the coastal hills, we're not going to see any significant cooling. So that's a flat line right there. I will put a link on my site for this page. And again, this is last night. See how shallow it was, or yesterday? And then you see it gets a little deeper overnight, and that's why we got the cooling. It's going to pinch down again today. When we look at this again, and tomorrow, it'll be in the morning, this time of day, it'll be pinched down, or not this time of day, but in the afternoon. So there you go. That's why we look at the visible satellite image. The reason we look at the observations are, we're like, okay, I'm in Sacramento, it's hot as heck. What's going on? Well, you can go, first thing you can do is you can look at, let's see, Sacramento, right here. That's my 86 degrees downtown Sacramento. See that number right there? And then the winds, I'm pointing to the way the winds are blowing. They're blowing the way, see how that stick goes into that ball? That's a 5-mile-an-hour wind out of the southwest. This is one little stick out there means 5 knots or 5 miles an hour. And then here, this is interesting to me. You can see, let me put in a box on this guy. You can see offshore, up north of, up by Point Arena area, you can see 52 degrees and the winds are 15 miles an hour, gusting to 20. That's a 20-mile-an-hour gust right there above it, out of the northwest. So that's a huge cooling influence. So you're going, okay, I get why Sacramento has dropped their excessive heat warning, but why hasn't Redding dropped their excessive heat warning? And that's because, we'll go to Redding, it should populate here in a minute. There it is. So Redding right now, 99 degrees in this case, it's 11:30 in the morning. So you can tell a lot from this map. And so what you're seeing, essentially, I mean, this is oversimplification, but you know that inversion I showed you? How it just kind of got up over 1,000 feet? Well, here's the Golden Gate Bridge. Interesting. The areas that have lost the extreme heat warning are areas that have access to the coastal fetch from that low-lying sea level gap, right? There's not many places along the California coast where there are, but mainly Southern California, where you have a sea level gap that's that big and that allows for that much cooling inland. You may have a sea level gap, but then you have the coastal hills right there. But in this case, the Bay, you don't really have coastal hills, right? You do, but you can go right through the Carquinez Strait, right up into Rio Vista, right into Sacramento. And that's in fact what's happening. It's not a huge delta breeze, but it's saving them. Okay, this map is College of DuPage. I want to show you this. First thing I want to show you is this is vorticity represents shear or energy in the atmosphere. Shear is just when you get one air mass moving this way and another air mass moving that way, and they kind of shear. In between, you get turbulence. It's like rocks in a river. So watch this. I'm just going to roll it through about 6 days. Isn't that awesome? So we're down the lower left, but this is vorticity. It shows you the energy in the atmosphere. Okay. So you're like, first thing you go is, wow, thing's alive, right? It's a planet Earth is alive for sure. And you can see that over us, which is right here, right there. Sorry about these lines, but see that's where we are. You can keep your mind's eye kind of in that area. You can see there's not much, there's energy over us, but some of it's negative vorticity and some of it's positive. Negative vorticity associated with sinking air. PVA, positive vorticity, associated with rising air. So in this case, you do have a little rising air this Friday. See it off the coast of California, if you can see California. It will be interesting to see what that does. But we are going to stay, there's no big energy changes coming this week. So we're going to continue with this forecast pattern, which for me is okay. I even suspect temperatures, well, the top tier there, that clearly represents your well inland temperatures. That's Vacaville, Fairfield, the inland spots. So there you go. Lots going on, but overall, much better setup. Red flag warnings are down. Heat warning, extreme heat warning down for the Bay Area and Sacramento. And we're under a heat advisory. So steady as she goes, kind of made it through the most difficult part of this heat wave, which was a couple days ago. All right, there you go.